Hi, so this is the first in a series of videos I'm putting together to promote this, the Trident pedal that I'm Kickstartering. Now, as usual, anything I've created in Kickstarter or designed, I've more or less done all the work, and all I'm really looking for is your backing to help it come to life, particularly with regard to paying for the circuit boards, which are quite expensive to make because you have to get a lot made to make it value for money. What is the Trident? The Trident is an ABCY box. Now, a few people have asked me for AB boxes over the years, and I'm always a bit like, how do I do something special? And so I've listened to everyone's complaints about the existing options, and the predominant number one is hum and noise, because you get earth loops. So the only really genuinely good way to solve an earth loop is to use an isolating transformer, which is a little bit tricky, a little bit expensive, and the options out there with those in tend to be in the many hundreds of pounds, and I'm like, I can beat that. So here we have a little box that takes one input and has 1 to 3 outputs, all independently switched. The first output is a straight connection because we need an earth, we need a standard connection, and the other two can be phase reversed in case your speakers are out of phase or your signals are out of phase, so everything sounds good. They can be ground lifted, because sometimes having a ground with or without the transformer isolation can improve it either way, and so you can try that. And you can bypass the tiny output transformers, which are on B and C. So B and C, the transformer completely isolates them. There's no physical connection whatsoever, but you can take it out if you don't need it or don't want it, because they sound very slightly different. Some people like them, some people don't. Sometimes you want to use them, sometimes you don't. So absolutely brilliant. And you've got all the possible options you could have there on all three. It does take a battery as well. You can put PP3 inside it. I'm making space for that. Hopefully they'll cut out the circuit board, it'll fit. And we've got a tuner output as well. So we've got a tuner through there. So that is always on, and everything's buffered with studio grade buffers. There's no cheap chips in this. They're all really good, high quality chips, great high quality components, as always. Same with foot switches. Alpha foot switches. Now, none of this really heavy, long throw 3P DT stuff that you get in most of these other pedals. We're going clonk. These are very, very smooth, short motion switches. They have a nice little solid action. They're really, really satisfying. I insist on using these switches. I just love them. I've been using them for ages. They never fail. And they're just great, great quality, great feel. Now, the next question, hesitation, I'm going to leave it in, is why would I want one? Now, I'm assuming some of you guys on here have immediately gone, oh, I know why I want this. Great, good for you guys. So the rest of you guys, well, this is one of the oldest and most powerful tools. Again, there's a handful of tools like this. When we all get into playing guitar and playing our instruments, we tend to overlook them and go, oh, we want the greatest singing or dancing, Jazzmaster 9 million. But actually, this is where it's at. So, first example of how to use this is if you've got a vintage amp with more than one input, you can switch between the two inputs, and you will get such a radically different sound by doing this. It'll be something you can't just get with pedals alone, because you get such great changes in sound, and yet they're really similar because it's the same amp, and vintage amps didn't have switching. So I'm going to show you that in a minute. Now, the other options for using it, so you could switch signal change, we can do other things, but something that's becoming much more popular these days is having one or more small amplifiers, because these great little amplifiers, these little orange Terras and things, and we could have 2 of these amps or 3 of these amps on stage. And so why switch channels in an amp when you can switch amps and have 2 completely different tones? Isn't that great? You can switch from a Fender Clean to a 90s Crate Mon distortion to a little Marshall sound to an orange sound, or just between, that is something you cannot get with pedals or with amp switching. Is 2 completely different amp sounds. So these are just a couple of uses. It's just an ultimate toolbox pedal. It's the kind of thing you buy once and you never want to buy again. So why buy a £30 one that's going to create hum and earth loops? So now I'm going to give you a quick example of this using my trusty 1960 Selm, which I've fired up behind us here. I might show off. Look. Yes, I am using my own hotbox equipment that I sell. Always. So let's get a guitar. Hello, it's a guitar. And let's make a noise. How do we make a noise? We turn things on. Why is there no noise? Because I've not plugged the jack in. So on this amp, we've got a bass channel, and let me pick this up. I probably shouldn't pick this camera up, it's going to go terribly wrong. You might be able to see this. There's a bass channel on the left hand side there, and there's a normal channel on the other side, and they're completely distinct. They're completely. Whoa! I nearly dropped the camera. I told you I was going to make a mess of that. They're completely distinct, completely separate, and they're completely different sounds, and they're both really great. And over the years, I've used these live to have this as my rhythm sound because it's so fat, you know. And then the normal channel is just so edgy. It's like. So I mean, especially like you can see straight away there, you get two really great sounds, and they're really matching sounds because they're at the same amplifier. If only you had an AB box, and of course it opens up this other possibility that you can't do switching and distortion on and off, which you use both. You don't have to be switch from my bass sound to my sound. We can have an in-between sound. Let me see if I'm sure I put it here. Haha. Actually, this is a classic trick used on, especially on the old Marshalls, where we patch two of the inputs together, the high and low inputs. And let me take that out for a second. And so we've got like the bright sound. And then you got both. Do you hear that? We pull that out and back to like. So, I mean, yeah, nearly every vintage amp, your Foxes, your Fenders, your Marshalls, the Selma, they all have multiple inputs and they're switching. If you don't own an AB box, you're just massively missing a trick of one of the best switchable two-tone sounds you can possibly get. And yeah, to keep repeating myself, you know, the two amp thing. I saw a guy the other day at a little festival, like pub festival, and yeah, he had one cab, one of those stereo Marshall cabs, and each side he plugged a little orange in. He had the dark terror and the regular terror. Oh, what a sound! That was, I mean, it was just, and I looked at that and went, yeah, that's it. That's where we're at. So anyway, this is a bit of a waffly introduction video. So you know, thank you for your patience. I've played a few simple sounds. I'm going to get some different amplifiers weeks to come, and I'm going to actually show you this working. Right now, this is not actually lit up working because this is my prototype, and I'm making a slight revision to the circuit board. So it's you know, it's one of those things. As we go along, I'm going to keep tweaking because I am a tweaker, and you'll get perfection. Most of the time, though, my circuit board looks like. Let me see if I can show you this. If I can even find where I put it. I may have talk rubbish. Oh, there we go. Now, that's one channel right there. There's one channel. You can see a tiny little transformer on there. How cool is that? And little op amp chips, you know. And actually, in fact, we use different sorts of op amp chips. I'm saying use studio grade chips, but we use studio grade chips for the main circuit. But to make sure those transformers put through pure tone, we drive them with top of the range, actually headphone amp chips. A little secret there. The same one you're using, those little like pocket cool headphone amps that everyone loves and thinks, wow, they're amazing. Use them to drive transformers. So yeah, clean, pure, beautiful, beautiful sounds. Simple AB switching, toolbox stuff. You know, support me, buy them, give me a career so I don't have to go back to teaching in a university. Please save me. I'm gonna turn this thing off.